Hey there, it is the Sabbath, and there are three commandments that are about neighbors. There's the one everybody remembers. You love thy neighbor. Then there is not to bear false witness against thy neighbor. And then the one that's what the neighborhood thing is all about. Not to covet thy neighbor's land. When you covet your neighbor's land, you want it, which is essentially what my neighbors are trying to do without purchasing it, because it's my investment in life. I've lost everything else, not because of drugs, but because of being tortured with the surveillance program and experiencing real stalking with it. And this often happens for targeted individuals. You get the real and the make believe, and it's a survival mode that you exist in, and weeks turn into months, and in my case, years. I've almost come out the other side. There's just a bit of a problem, and that is people still wanting what they want, which is the way of the devil. Selfishness. For whatever reason. But in this case, it's not just that. It's a desire to have me lose more. And the crazy thing is it's for a reason that isn't even possible. But people are so firmly entrenched in a belief that it puts my life in danger. And I can thank the pigs of Columbus for making that possible. And then for sharing it with the government and telling them it came from them when it didn't. Because it was said long time ago. I don't know when. Patty could help with that. The only way anybody ever meets the devil is when you die, because God created a space for him to exist for all eternity. So it would mean that the person saying that tall tale, would have had to have died and then gotten an early release from hell and been reincarnated as a human being just to tell it to other people when they grew up. And remember it through childbirth and all the way of growing up. So that's one way that people can know it is not true. That's really important because of the curse that's on me. Anytime I tell this truth to people, don't believe it. That's how strong it is. And they blow me off. And they do believe the people telling the lie. The neighbors need to get real and track down the source of things, because then they'll know. My neighborhood is horrible at communicating. And because I'm not a part of the Google group, and I've been removed as a neighbor within the neighborhood, which is also a violation of my freedom of speech. Very few people do know the truth, and things are very serious. There's a group that hates me for no reason. I shouldn't say that. Not a valid reason to do what they want to do to me. I have one DUI. That is my entire criminal history. I had a perfect disciplinary record with 0 incidents in 22 years. The DUI happened when a girl accused me of pushing her, and there was one report filed with children's services, and I went out drinking that night because I didn't do it, and I couldn't believe that I was being accused of something I didn't do. But that's what all my neighbors and other neighbors I don't know in the Columbus area have done. Accused me of things that I haven't done. And the source of lies needs to be stopped. I do not watch the news, so I don't know what's going on, and I think in this instance right now is probably a good thing. But everything stems from this neighborhood. And people better figure it out quick. And stop it. I threatened sewing the mouths shut of those people telling lies because the belief is so strong. And their only goal in life is my destruction. It sounds crazy. But honestly, it's the truth. I tried to walk a path of peaceful resolution for years. People aren't having it. I do not lie. It would be wise for us to be able to figure this out. I've written and documented everything from November 22nd, 2018 to today. And it's all true. People didn't believe it was a real story when I was writing my first journal. Before a stalking case. It was actually created by a stalker of me. The title of that is on Facebook. They drove me crazy. And I tried to conceal the identity of some of the main players by giving them fictitious names that started with the same letter. So Pokey is Patty, and Anxious is Arvid. I found out Bill's name when a representative for a cable company came to my door and mentioned his name and his wife's name, but I only remembered Bill. So that's how I found out his name. I found out Edda's name, and she called 911 and left her name and phone number. And I got 45 911 transcripts. And people incorrectly thought it was all about drones and things like that. It's about my neighborhood. So after that stalking case, I started a new journal. I had about 11 or 1,200 followers to my first page, and I started over at 0 and began writing tiered justice, equity, and equality. I now have 2,300 people, and it's only been since November of 2020. I'm very grateful for the followers I have. So there's a reward. It's pretty substantial because I know there was some help. we can do a couple different things. We can help save lives and make the world a better place. And we can also tell the most incredible story of neighborhood unity that's inclusive instead of exclusive. Many neighbors don't know all that I've lost, and they don't know all that's gone on. And some of them might not ever find out, because part of the deal I've made is once I get resolution, the online version comes down from being online. So that those people that have a grievance with it and certain parts will have the option to speak with me about it. Because I might have some of it wrong. It's possible. And what I would like for the document to be is 13 volumes of the truth, because that's what this whole story, my real life, has been about. Life and truth. And I would like to print it for the publisher and release them one at a time, about 2 months apart from each other. So it would take about a year or two for the whole story to come out. But of course, since people will know the ending, last volume first, and then all the backstory. And I would like to make it a Facebook book, which would mean putting QR codes in, so it becomes a reference and interactive book with websites that are online and with information about things, because there's a lot of science involved. And what I'm offering, the biggest chunk, is 40% of the profit for a time period of 50 years. It's probably longer than I'll be alive, and I will write it in my will that those people get that for helping save my life. And the ability to do better the following week. And that's all God wants for all of us. Because we're not perfect. None of us are. So those people who have made some mistakes in the last 6 days, you just take 5 minutes and review your week and see how you did. And then you just promise to God that you're going to try to do better next week. That's called keeping the Sabbath holy. And if you do that, you're in touch with God at least once a week, 52 times a year. When was the last time you had a conversation with God? If you can't remember it, He is your best friend. He's been mine when all my other friends abandoned me because of what the police said. and what doctors said. That and my journal, those were my two things, my two friends in a very long journey. And I've come out the other side. I just need some people to release me so that I can continue living life. Because I'm not living life right now. I'm trying to fix other people's mistakes and get them to assist. And because of the curse, can you imagine how difficult it is to find a lawyer to represent me? My friends all think that I don't have a case, but they haven't spent the time sitting down with me. Nobody has. Mike Brenner helped out shortly after the fraternity brothers came in. But they believe what Patty said. Patty said that the two of us were close friends at one time. It's not true. And she was scared of me, which is also not true. So it's been very difficult. And Arvid has the same story as Patty. And those are the two neighbors that my fraternity brothers spoke with. And they ditched their brother of 30 years in favor of two strangers telling lies about me. Those brothers then spoke with my other friends who are in the gay community. And for a long while, nobody knew what happened to me. I just kind of fell off the radar. Those fraternity brothers took it upon themselves to share the information that they had. And my story was not believed, partly because of remote neural monitoring and V2K, which are both real. So it was a double-edged sword. And pretty much everybody's got me isolated in society. I've written a lot of compositions, musical compositions, and I would like to cut an album before summer. I want to travel to the 18 remaining states because I was trying to get help from the FBI and asking governors of other states to please help because they weren't responding to all my reports. It was a good chance for me to get away and not be around the neighborhood where there is constant stalking. It's stifling here. Nobody's happy. And it's a very miserable environment. And it's created by a couple people that are really persistent in trying to get what they want. So, if this is new information to you and you know somebody who's a part of what's going on, I hope that you'll share, because I don't tell anything that's a lie. And the belief that I do is just, it's gross. I can't believe I've been silenced like this. I gotta find a way to break it. So, you play a role in helping break it. Have a good Sabbath.
and I'll try and keep on smiling.